Well, hello. It's Friday evening, March 20th, 2020. This is oh goodness, I skipped all the day. I thought I was going to do this series daily, and I did the first day, the second day, the third day, and then I wasn't sure if I should continue making them daily. I didn't know if that's what you wanted. I didn't want to overload my channel. It was kind of a 60-40, almost a 50-50 split when I did that survey. So I thought maybe I'll just do these once or twice a week when it makes sense, when I really got something interesting to say and not just staring like in pure panic mode at the camera. My mood's up right now. It fluctuates, but mostly up. I spent the whole week being productive, and that's about all I feel like I can do right now. I think what I've really started to I think I might have said this a week ago, but like I've really started to internalize the fact that there's only so much I can do. I can't control the external, but I can control the internal. It's a very stoic philosophy. And maybe that's on my mind because I've been reading Happy by Darren Brown, which is just exceptional. You should definitely read that if you're looking for something. Having said that, today, Connecticut, New York, Connecticut where I live, New York, New Jersey, all the northeastern United States basically went on lockdown. I mean, it's unprecedented in America. I mean, I know this is kind of unprecedented in the world, but I think the states were really nervous to go to these drastic measures because it feels kind of anti-American. It feels very authoritarian, but the federal government isn't putting it in place. It's the individual states are being left to make their own decisions, which is causing some problems here in the States with places like Florida who will not put restrictions in place, and just spring breakers, just Gen Z young people just putting all of our lives at risk by not listening to the scientists and not doing their social distancing, just having their spring break with thousands of people at a time on the beach is crazy. But I can't control that. I can't do anything about that. What I can do is what I'm doing. I've been socially isolating for well over a week. Good news is that I'm thrilled that my wife doesn't have to go into work anymore. She's allowed to start working from home now because the state closed down all non-essential businesses, and so she's going to start working from home on Monday, which will be really interesting because I've always been self-employed and I've always worked from home, but I've always worked from home alone. She goes out to work, she's gone all day, I do all my work, she comes home. We're both going to be working from home starting Monday, which means, and she'll be all video conferencing into work, and I'll be video conferencing here doing my thing, and so it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to work out a whole new kind of system, but I'm glad she's going to be home and safe, and we can just keep to ourselves and desperately try to keep ourselves healthy and avoid getting anybody else sick or contributing to the problem. I was very productive this week. Almost too productive. I need to pace myself. I need to be careful. I buried myself this week in projects, and I made so many conference calls to old clients that I reconnected with, my current prospects that are rescheduling and canceling and postponing events because no one knows what the hell is going on. I touched base with colleagues. I was trying to be just helpful and generous where I can, trying to shift my business where I might need to, because we don't know when the live event industry is coming back. I mean, it could be a long time. It might not just be a month or two. I mean, it could be 6 months, 8 months, a year. I mean, I don't know when. I don't think if we flatten the curve and do our job, I'm not sure in 3 or 4 months we're all just going to start hopping on planes and flying across the world to be in conferences with hundreds or thousands of people. I don't know if that's just going to come back. So my mental state right now is assume you are never going to step on a stage and get paid to be in front of a live audience ever again. That's where my brain is. I'm sure that's not true, right? That's crazy. But assume you can never make money stepping on a stage again. Okay, what can you do to continue your mission, to continue preaching your message of human connection and also bring in money to support your family, right? That's the question I'm asking myself. What do I have control over? And so I've been building out virtual programs and mastermind groups. I'm leaning into my one-on-one coaching, my remote coaching for speakers, for entrepreneurs, for people who are self-employed, and I've got a great virtual workshop for my regular clients in place of my live speeches. So I built this all out. In case you're interested in seeing what I've been up to, I'll leave a link to that in the description. I'm not saying there's anything there that you'll be interested in. I'm just saying if you want to see what I've been up to, you can go check that out. But I've also been, really focusing on content creation. I sent a survey to my entire email subscriber audience, my whole kind of tribe, my community over there, who subscribes to my blog, and I surveyed them directly on what they want from me, what they're expecting from me in this, time, in this crisis, in this pandemic, and I was just blown away by the answers. Not only were they just so kind and generous and thoughtful, but they were really helpful and eye-opening. If I had not done that survey, I would have had no idea how to approach my content. That would be it's the answers I got were not the answers I expected, and so I'm really glad that I did that. I'm glad that my community trusts me enough to be honest with me and tell me what they expect of me in these times, and so I get to deliver on that. I get to rise to the challenge and rise to the leadership role that I set up for myself. And we all have a choice to be leaders right now. I recognize that there's a tremendous amount of privilege in my current position. It won't last forever, but I've been successful enough for long enough that I'm not going to be in dire straits tomorrow or next week or even next month. I mean, eventually I'd be in the same position as everybody, but I know so many people that aren't just dealing with the health crisis and the loneliness crisis right now. They're also dealing with the how am I going to buy food next week crisis, which is something I'm not dealing with and would not be dealing with for a while. And there's a tremendous amount of privilege and luck in that. And so I'm trying to be mindful. I'm trying to let the anxiety that I'm experiencing, which is I feel like is healthy. I'm allowed to have that, but I'm trying not to dwell on it because my situation comparatively is just it's pretty good within a terrible situation that we're all in. So I'm trying to be very grateful for the situation I'm in. And so I've been doing lots of things to try to express my gratitude and give in any way I can. I've been running free group kind of masterminds for my colleagues in the event industry who've all lost all of their income and all of their work, many of them struggling artists to begin with who actually don't know how they're going to pay their rent next month or afford food in a couple of weeks. And so I've been running kind of support groups on Facebook and video conferences for that. I'm trying to put out articles and blogs and messages all across my social, mostly on LinkedIn and some to some extent on Facebook, that I think will be helpful to people right now in this time. I'm trying to give what I can in any way that I can, while also productively working on how I'm going to support and protect my family if this goes on for a long time. Because at some point I will need to, get back to work and bring in business. And so that's where I'm at. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe and healthy. And if you are not, if you are dealing with a health crisis right now, my heart just goes out to you and the folks who are separated from ill relatives, as I am at the moment. I empathize and sympathize with that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I can do, if there's any topics you'd like me to approach. I guess I'm here. We've all been in this community here on YouTube for a number of years. You've been very supportive of me. Some of you are still buying my audio course right now, which I can't. To that end, everybody who already owns it, over the next few weeks, I will I have plenty of time. I'm going to be recording new modules, new courses there. It's all going to go into that audio course. So if you already own it, you're going to get all that stuff for free. I'm planning on developing a short kind of a mini course on just podcasting. The technology, yes, but more than the technology, finding your voice, choosing a topic, ways to approach, different methods to approach, different ways that you can run a podcast. But mostly, finding your voice and figuring out how to see the world and how to talk about your perspective in a way that engages others, that invites others into the conversation. If you've ever wanted to start a podcast, there's no time like the present, right? I mean, this is your moment. If you've always wanted to write a book, this is your moment. If you've always wanted to learn how to cartoon, this is your moment, right? Like, lean in to art and let's be grateful that this is happening. If this was going to happen in a world with high-speed internet, I mean, if you're watching this, you have access to virtually all information that has ever existed in all of humanity, in all of history. So take advantage of that. Learn some new skills. Read philosophy. Read poetry. Share that with others. Develop a book group or watch. If you're into movies, instead of reading, watch a movie with all get 5 or 6 friends to all. Let's all watch the same movie tonight, and then tomorrow we get on a Zoom call or a Skype group chat, and we all talk about the movie. Let's whatever whatever lights you up. This is the time to lean into that. There's never been a better time. So I hope you're well. I hope you stay happy, you stay healthy. Keep reaching out to people. We need an overabundance of connection, conversation right now, because the in-person connection that I'm always going on and on about, we're going to be missing that for a while. And so we need to make up for that with just an overabundance of frequent, meaningful communication, if it's going to be virtual like this. So thanks so much for sticking with me, for sticking with me through this, for communicating with me, for being a part of my life. And I know many of you I'll never meet in person, but I know you're there. I see you, and I hope things look up for all of us soon. So remember, our world is a shared experience. Let's do something great with it.